Welcome to Travel Market Life, your companion for industry insights and professional business development. Travel Market Life. Join us by webcast, video or podcast.
Hello and welcome to Travel Market Life, and this is one of our very special selection of best of shows for 2023. We've decided to sort of look through some of the conversations that we've had over the last 12 months and actually pick out some of the great conversations and key points that people have been expressing and really condense some of those conversations down into this 20 or so minute segment so that you can then go out and hunt out these particular podcasts and see which ones that you want to listen to in full. We've been having a fantastic year. As you know, if you follow us, we did our first live event at the Independent Hotel Show this year, and you can listen back to those episodes as well to hear some of the conversations that we had with those experts. We've also grown the audience. Thank you, listeners, for being here. 220% growth over the course of this year, so please keep sharing with your peers, your colleagues, your friends, anyone across the industry, because it's just great to get that recognition for all those people who've been contributing to this podcast and actually providing some of those insights that are really invaluable to helping drive our industry, travel and hospitality, forward. Digitalisation is moving at a rate of knots, but we're all having to take a different perspective on it and how it's really going to help us within our own businesses, depending on our size, just depending on where we're positioned, the type of people that we're working with, the type of guests or travellers, and really, the overall infrastructure that we have. So in today's episode, you're going to be hearing about data, cybersecurity, the big AI, 10 rules around buying, and some of the challenges that hoteliers are finding when it comes to technology. So sit back, relax, and enjoy part one of our best of for Travel Market Life 2023.
Travel Market Life.
Back in May 2023, I spoke to Alex Medavoy, the CEO of outtakes, about the importance of hotel analytics and why it's becoming critical in the industry. We explored the 4 key areas that it enables efficiencies, cost cutting and revenue generation, and the approach dependent on the accommodation or category type and the impact it has across the commercial team.
Though many hotel systems have built-in analytics tools, their capabilities may be limited or restricted to solving very narrow tasks in a particular niche. And to your point, basically, for the large hotel, the situation can often be the following. They obviously use some ready-made existing solutions. However, because of the scale of the hotels and different data sources, and also aligning all that with a number of goals and objectives, there's probably no unique out-of-pocket, let's say, tools that can solve all this. So usually big chains, they combine something ready-made, plus they do some custom modules on top.
One of the things that is abundantly clear is not all tools fit every type of business, and it really does depend on the size of the operation. Now, I also asked Alex a bit more about how to utilize the data, because spreadsheets have been around for a while and we've got quite used to being able to crunch that information. Why are data analytic platforms that much more intelligent?
So something really more sophisticated than just, segmenting, like taking an Excel and saying, hey, I'm gonna check all the customers that came to me from France or from China, whatever. So, and definitely when it comes to like more sophisticated customer segmentation, this then could be used to tailor marketing and sales efforts for the different segment and increase the revenues, obviously. Now, second big bucket, I would say, is sales and revenue optimization itself. And usually the analytics module could help the hotel to understand which factors are driving bookings and revenues, and then identify the opportunities to optimize pricing, inventory management, and other factors to maximize the revenues. The third thing is actually the third bucket, I would say, is about marketing and I would call it campaign analysis. So the module could be used to analyze the effectiveness of marketing campaigns, identify the channels that drive the most of the bookings on volume or the most marginal bookings.
Travel Market Life.
Now we come to our most popular podcast of 2023 with Dheeraj Singh from Canary Technologies as we discuss how security is embedded within the guest journey, but the challenges hoteliers face in realising the benefits. With all the increasing amount of technology, systems and apps that we're utilising on a day-to-day basis, it's essential that as businesses we continually look at how IT security is performing and protecting the security of the data of both our guests and our employees. So I asked him how much of it is still a priority when he's speaking to customers.
I think these trends around operationalizing things like check-in, there's still the essence is still includes cybersecurity, secure collection of data, secure transfer of data. That's still pervasive throughout, and so that's it's an important aspect of these solutions.
Now, I mean, you've been operating for some time. You've expanded your product portfolio. What's the value that you particularly provide your customers? I mean, you talked about this in seamless integration there as well, and obviously you've been renowned for the security side of things. But how and where do customers recognize the effectiveness that Canary Technologies provides as a partner?
Automate as much data entry as possible and make sure that that's done well. And that really goes back into really seamless integrations. The last piece here is just around guest experience. The preferences of guests have changed dramatically, over time, especially in the last few years. And so the ability to do whatever you need to do from the comfort of your own mobile device, whether that's, again, around checking in, checking out, but if you want to enhance your stay, communicate with the hotel, being able to do so just from the palm of your hand, whether it's through a cell phone or any device that you may have on hand, that's become table stakes for a lot of guests, and that's their expectation now. And I think Skift released a report saying the average tenure of a housekeeper today is 78 days. And the cost it takes to recruit a new staff member that often is insanely costly for hotels. And so if we can extend that tenure for the staff by helping hotels provide that benefit and that perk for them and make it easy for guests, it's really a win-win scenario.
Travel Market Life.
Now, if any of you were playing buzzword bingo in 2023, this is one that you would have got within the first few seconds of entering any trade show, conference or event: artificial intelligence. I spoke to Emma Taylor and Nick Wyatt from Global Data to look at AI and the ethics behind it, to delve into the impact and how we can, as businesses, can be prepared and those dangers of not implementing it without the right considerations. In my first question, I wanted to ask, where are we seeing hospitality use artificial intelligence?
As we all know, the number one thing you're striving for is a high level of guest satisfaction. That guest experience is at the heart of everything that hotels are doing. That becomes arguably more important the further up the sort of value chain you go within the sort of star rating system, if you like. So I think that is one area we see certain sort of tasks, maybe around check-in, for example, is one, managing bookings, those kinds of things. Using AI in those regards is something we're seeing more of. I think the other element is around personalization. Being able to make recommendations either for upsell opportunities on an existing stay or perhaps for, post-stay promotions, individualized promotions after that. Say, okay, we know that from the data we've collected, analyzed, etc., this person stays in this type of room.
So what about ChatGPT and generative AI?
As I said with customer service in general, so you could get ChatGPT or another generative AI large language model and integrate that into your hotel's website or an app that then would provide 24/7 customer service. So I think ChatGPT and other models are now creating these generative AI app builders, which mean that people with less technical proficiency can build different platforms than they could have before. So, they could now create bots or chat apps or digital assistants using generative AI instead of needing, so much technical know-how.
Travel Market Life.
Buying technology is not easy, particularly for enterprises and businesses. You need to make sure that investment is well spent. So I spoke to Frank Wagner, Director International Sales at Advanced Computer Technology, to give us a bit of a guide to effective investment. He shared with me 10 rules. Now, this is one actually my favourite episodes. It was quite fun to do, so if you have a chance, do listen to it. But this is rule number 2, about defining the full scope of the project.
The scope definition has multiple components. You have a software and hardware piece. You have interfaces to third-party systems that need to work. You have training requirements. That means who needs to be trained, what needs to be trained to whom, and when is it possible. There's a time schedule behind it, meaning you have to have a planned opening date. You have as well to plan the cutover process, which not only affects your operation, but as well your guests saying, hey, sorry, I need to charge you with the invoice the night before you leave because tonight we are cutting over to a new system. So all these aspects are super important, and it means involving a lot of people in the process. So the important thing in the scope is not how do I do it, but to know what you want to achieve with this implementation. If you know what you want to achieve, then everything else will lead towards it. And as well, you're starting to ask the right questions to your vendors.
Travel Market Life.
So we heard from the vendor, now let's hear from the hotelier. I got a chance to speak to Kurt Matcher from the Shangri-La Group and the Shard about the challenges of buying hotel technology and some of the key frustrations. It was really fascinating to have this conversation with him because he was blunt, and I actually had more in-depth conversation with him at the Ace Hotel Tech Summit, where he was speaking quite openly about the complexities of buying technologies and implementing within hotels, particularly as well across different regions and for different needs. So here he is talking about some of those challenges.
I think there's more and more suppliers right now than in the past. I think it became a very competitive market, I would say, and a lot of competition is out there within technology, of course, and it's also challenging to always keep up with the latest technology, right? You work on a new program, especially for hotel companies, bigger hotel companies such as us. It's a long process to get new technology approved. That takes time. Then you have it approved, you implement it, and then already a new system comes out that's much better, right? So that's also frustrating in a way, and no solution yet out there either.
I was going to say, how do you start to identify the right partners for you in the first place? Is there a particular approach that you've been taking with at the Shangri-La to identify the right profile of supplier and what you need to know from them in order to have confidence in their systems?
Yes, so we reach out to different suppliers, we invite them in, we have discussions, we involve the operation and different leaders that will be involved in that new technology system, and then of course we have to get it approved by our regional VPs, and then within our corporate office in Hong Kong as well. So it's a long process, but with Shangri-La we always have to find 3 suppliers, 3 quotes. I think most companies do as well, and then you choose the best that works best for your hotel and provides the best solution. But it takes time.
Travel Market Life.
So thank you for joining us for the best of technology conversations that I had during 2023. You can check out the other episodes that are coming very, very soon as we look at summarising Hotelier's Voice Season 3 and the Hotel Partner episodes, which was a new season that I launched in this year. So do check out some of those. Thank you so much for being our listener, and I really hope that you continue through it with us in 2024 as we have some exciting new programming to share and activities that we're going to be doing as part of Travel Market Life. Please follow us on LinkedIn if you're not following us already, because that's when you get the latest notification of the most recent uploads that we have of our podcast. We also share more details around articles and insights of the industry there on a monthly basis through our newsletter. In addition, if you could, please, just rate the podcast on any of the channels that you're on, because that really helps us bump up the visibility of Travel Market Life and hopefully get more investment for the future to be closer to you and have more interesting and diverse topics that are relevant to what you're doing in your day-to-day role. Thanks ever so much for listening. I've been your host, Ryan Haynes. I look forward to speaking to you very soon.
For more, go to Travel Market Life. The music sensation by Zach Nelson is reproduced under license from Storyblocks. Travel Market Life is a Haynes Marcoms digital marketing agency production, serving the travel and technology industries.